Hi, I'm Annabelle and I'm here with Desi and Chris, and we're going to be talking about how to find your niche and just be better. So we're going to be talking about how important it is to differentiate yourself in the market. And I know when I started that I could not find a publisher for my books because no book on feeding babies has sold well. But my book was a bit different because everybody said babies only like bland food, and mine tasted like you would like to eat it yourself. And the other thing is I thought like moms don't want to be cooking every day, so how about having meal planners? Desi, tell us about how you differentiated yourself in the fitness wear market.
Well, I think the key for me, regardless of which market you're at, is trying to start with what problem are you solving. And for me, I was solving a personal problem. I was trying to make my workouts more effective. I wanted to get more out of my time, and so I started with that. And it turns out there were a lot of women who had the same problem. So the key is, finding a problem, figuring out who has that problem. Is it a big enough market?
And what about you, Chris? How do you differentiate what you do?
I think it's difficult as a blogger to differentiate because there are so many people, the market's being flooded. So I think the most important thing for me was to retain my own personal integrity and my own identity within a very flooded market, and not to start copying people.
Yes.
And to sort of develop my own niche within that market. So I've stuck to trying to be true to myself. So I'm a vegetarian, I'm a mum to 4 kids, and I've tried not to move beyond things that I would normally do.
That must be not that many bloggers that only specialising in vegetarian. When you compare it to the number of bloggers
I think so. And people who are blogging, vegetarian bloggers tend to blog about just food. Whereas I've tried to blog about vegetarian family life. So I've made that my niche.
So what was your experience in kind of being more creative and doing it better than your competitors?
You have to start with an idea, because usually when you're starting a business, you have to follow your gut, right? Especially if you're solving a problem for yourself. But then once you are out there, you have to be absolutely relentless about listening to your customers. Because your customers will tell you what they want, and we used to joke that we don't even need to do any thinking, because our customers will tell us, we want hot pants with a higher waistband, or we want long hot pants, or we want pink ones, or we want purple ones, And at the end of the day, as a business, you're there to serve your customers.
How about you? I mean, in blogging, as you said, it's difficult to be different, but you are vegetarian. And what are some of the things that you do that have worked for you in your blogging?
There are some bloggers who've gone down the reviewing route, and it's all about products and brands. And while I do review and work with brands, I've tried to maintain a good body of writing about the things that I'm interested in and I know my readers are interested in.
What advice would you give somebody starting a business in a crowded marketplace?
You have to start with a niche. So you need to find something that people are not doing or not doing very well. Find a super, super dedicated customer base in that niche, do it really, really well, and grow from there.
I think in a competitive market it's very difficult, and I think it's important to find your niche and then and really explore it. I think it's looking for communities and groups of people who are interested in what you're interested in, and then doing some research. I think a lot of people have a really good idea and they don't necessarily do the research around that. See if that market is there and see what that market is looking for. I think that's hugely important, and you can do that so well through social media and also actually through blogging.
Well, I mean, in supermarkets you can actually buy data and see what other competitors are selling. You can see the flavours that are selling the best. It's quite good research, and that's real research. Okay, it costs you, but at least it's not fantasy. That's what's happening in the marketplace. So thank you, Desi, and thank you, Chris. My key takeaway points for finding a niche are: a real entrepreneur has to follow their instinct and believe in their idea. Listen to your market to help you find and keep your niche. Social media is the new word of mouth, a great way to find new customers and get instant feedback.